Well, let's give you updates now from the war in Ukraine as the United Nations Office for Human Rights is sounding the alarm over growing evidence of war crimes in Ukraine, urging both Kyiv and Moscow to order combatants to respect international law. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister says no humanitarian corridors will be open across Ukraine on Friday due to the danger on the routes. Satellite images show what appears to be mass graves around a cemetery near Mariupol, where officials say Russia is burying bodies to hide its war crimes. We have details on this report.
Russian soldiers have reportedly been taking bodies of people killed in Mariupol to this location. A review of satellite images from mid-March through mid-April indicate that the expansion of new sets of graves began between March the 23rd and the 26th and has continued to expand over the last couple of weeks. The graves are aligned in 4 sections of linear rows and contain more than 200 new graves. Residents in the besieged port city of Mariupol are yearning for an early ceasefire to bring the turmoil to an end as soon as possible, while local people elsewhere in Donetsk are also hoping for calm. Russia says it has started the second phase of its special military operation in Ukraine and claims to have taken control of Mariupol, apart from the Azovstal plant. Elsewhere, civilians in Kharkiv seek refuge in the underground metro station. They have been hiding from Russian bombs since the start of the war. Children and elderly, men and women have all gone underground to save their lives, setting up tents and laying down mattresses as temporary homes. 3 buses carrying 79 evacuees fleeing Mariupol have arrived in the city of ZAPORIZHZIA after numerous unsuccessful attempts to flee the city due to ongoing shelling. Some in tears and some smiling, people got off the buses to have their documents checked by the police. Mariupol, once home to over 400,000 people, has seen not only the most intense battle of the war, but also its worst humanitarian catastrophe, with hundreds of thousands of civilians cut off for nearly 2 months under Russian siege and bombardment. Ukraine estimates that tens of thousands of civilians have died in Mariupol, with the United Nations and Red Cross saying the civilian toll is still unknowable, but at least in the thousands. US President Joe Biden has visited Portland, where he met with Governor Kate Brown. President Biden spoke about the high gas prices, calling the recent inflation Putin's price hike.
70% of the increase in inflation was a consequence of Putin's price hike because of the impact on gas and energy prices. And doing everything I can to bring down the price to address Putin's price hike. That's why I authorized the release of 1 million barrels per day for the next 6 months from our Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby said on Friday that the U.S. is not only focused on its current shipment of artillery and weapons to Ukraine, but how to help Ukraine long-term in its defense capabilities.
Mr. Putin's initial strategic objectives, which was clearly to erase Ukrainian sovereignty and to capture Kyiv, he's failed. He has failed to achieve any of those objectives to date. Now the Russians are saying, well, they're going to focus their efforts on the Donbass and in the south. They've been vague about exactly to what end, but that's where they're focusing their efforts, and we're going to do everything we can to help the Ukrainians prevent that from happening.